You know, we never talked about this, right?
About what?
If I actually get custody of him.
Wait, I'm sorry, run it back. You're trying to get full custody?
Yes,
Zach, I thought you were just trying to get shared custody.
I did, but that was before we saw how she was living.
All right, well, there's a lot to unpack here. I feel like I'm going to do like how many? 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 4 different videos on this one scene, but this video in particular, I wanted to talk about whether or not Zach should want to get full custody of his son. Now, I want to kind of take Fatima out of this. Now, I know she's in it because, you know, any decision Zach makes, she's going to be involved in it as well in some way, shape, or form. And full custody of a toddler is a lot to take in. So, you know, as a result, she's going to have to be involved in Michael's life. Now, let's fast forward. Season 7, there is a character, I forgot her name, but she's an older woman. But we do know that Fatima and Zach are going to be interviewing for a nanny, which implies that Zach may actually get full custody, or at the very least, he will get split custody, but he will need a nanny at times. So, I mentioned this in a video about whether or not Zach should, you know, kind of help Heather get on her feet. But I don't know if it would be the best thing to get full custody. Maybe for a time, but not permanently. The reason I say this is because even though I kind of, after the first season, I kind of dropped Empire. But I do remember watching some clips here and there. I know, what's his name, Hakeem? He had a son at one point, and, you know, he and the baby mama had an argument, and at one I think the baby mama went to jail or something, I think. And look, I'm not the biggest Empire, you know, aficionado, but I do remember this one scene. But basically, Hakeem said, look, I want to split custody because I know what it's like to grow up without my mom, and I don't want my child to go through that as well. I feel like Zach ought to do the same thing where, you know, Heather needs to get her shit together. That's without a doubt, you know, to be a better mother. But I think from his own experience, he should want to have split custody. Again, I really want to stress the fact that only if Heather gets her crap together. I mean, like Fatima said, you know, I thought it would play out where we were kind of, can't we just help her kind of get on her feet, change her ways? And Zach's like, look, she's the kind of person who is never going to change. But I mean, you know, maybe a different profession for one, not judging exotic dancers, even though she told Karen she doesn't do that anymore, which she clearly does. But in any case, you know, maybe work a more reputable career. But then again, we live in an era where everybody and their mother damn near literally has an OnlyFans account. So yeah. But basically, don't have a bunch of strange men running through your house all the time while you have Michael there. Make sure he's giving love and attention instead of being left to his own literal devices such as a tablet and whatnot. Feed our child, make sure he's, you know, being developed fully, because he clearly is underdeveloped from the lack of potty training or even speaking. Like Fatima said, Zach probably isn't ready for this. I mean, clearly, walking into that situation, relating it to his own experience growing up, yeah, I can understand him wanting to take his son and go full custody. But, you know, it's one of those things where, like he said, you know, we really haven't talked about this yet. But what if I do get custody? And then Fatima's like, wait, you want full custody? I thought you only wanted like split custody. No, well, I mean, I did until, you know, I saw how he was living. Which again brings about the communication aspect of it. Hey, Zach, before you drop a bomb like this, maybe you should talk to your lady about it. But remember, he was so busy on the phone with Karen and crying and whatnot at the salon that they never really talked about what's next if he does get custody of his son. So I really think that it's just one of those situations where Zach needs to really think things through instead of making a knee-jerk reaction. But yeah, I can completely understand him wanting to get custody. But the question is whether or not, you know, it's fair to Fatima. But that is his son, and he takes priority over Fatima. This reminds me of Melanie when she was acting, you know, angry towards Derwin in season 3 of the game, where she felt, like she was being shortchanged because she didn't pass in order to get her white coat, and she had to beg her parents for money to, continue her education for her white coat. And then she got mad at Derwin for like signing over this huge insurance policy for Janae and the kid. And it's like she got mad about it. And it's like, that's my son. Like, I don't really know what you're getting at here, Melanie. I mean, if anything happens to me, my son takes priority. And it only makes sense. So, yeah, I will say in another video when I record it about Fatima, yeah, it's a lot to take in, and I don't want to, ignore her right to have feelings about this, but, hey, nobody's making you stay. If it's too much, it's too much. So what do you think? Do you think that Zach should fight for full custody? I mean, honestly, based off what we see in season 6B, the trailer where Zach is beating the hell out of one of Heather's boyfriends for beating up on or abusing their son, yeah, get him out of there. But let's talk about it more in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think that Zach should get full custody? Make the necessary changes in his life to accustom a toddler? Hopefully get another bed, because I do believe it's only a 1-bedroom that he and Fatima stay in. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.